Guys,
What?
I have a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
Even though I am a member of this podcast,
Oh no.
for the next 4 months, I need to make a vow to myself that I will not spend
Your weekends?
money
Oh, money.
on whiskey
Okay.
over $40 until July, because
Mhm.
I need to put money into my truck for camping.
Yep. That is a noble cause. But really, $40? That's a tempting number.
I'm
'cause
sorry.
Most just
I
like,
know.
like 80% of the things that we really enjoy are like 50 or above.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Welcome to another episode of The Extraordinary Gentleman.
Yeah.
Today, we are joined.
sacrifices have been made.
Yeah, he's putting himself into a real big constraint there.
I'm trying to put my truck first,
Mhm.
others first. The experience camping of this future trip that hopefully will happen with my Blazer, as we know it. But, anyways, we are joined together in Zach's
Upstairs
kitchen,
living
living
room,
room?
kitchen. It's one room that's a kitchen, a dining room, and a living room.
But
And
it's cozy.
It's super cozy. Walls do
it.
not exist.
It's got a
in
new
in this
buffet.
dimension. Yeah, we got a new buffet. We got a big box hiding it, among other things.
So what are we doing today?
So you talked about sacrifice. We had also sacrificed our wallets because we found.
Well, you guys did. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan and I had found.
I did not make the vow yet.
Right. No,
You
this
know,
was before the
after.
vow.
Yeah.
We found Ardbeg Committee Release's newest release. Sorry, Ardbeg Committee's newest release,
The 2020 edition.
the 2020 edition, the Ardbeg, with 7 R's, which I figured.
How does that sound? How do you pronounce that? Does it have like a certain length
Yeah.
that you have to pronounce the R? Like
I
4
think-
R's versus 7?
Right. I think it's all about the transition from the R sound to the grumble that makes it like a pirate sound. And then as soon as you're satisfied with the pirate part of the grumble, you can conclude. So I think it can be varied.
It's a very, okay.
But as long as you accomplish
The goal
the goal,
of the R.
and that's why there's so many.
I see.
It's
So anyway.
a subjective R.
Yep. I was gonna say that I remember it's 7 because the 7 C's. 7 R's for 7 C's.
Oh, you know those guys at Ardbeg.
Yeah. They've been whipping that one up for a while.
Their naming is really good.
Yep.
And all of their bottling is pretty fantastic. This is the first committee release I've ever seen and also just got my hands on.
Yep.
Of course, we are, at least would like to think, familiar with the core range of Ardbegs.
Oh yeah.
So we have our reoccurring guest, Whiskey
boy.
Boy.
Whiskey pourer boy.
Whiskey boy.
So he will be blinding us on the core ranges, and the goal is essentially to see if we can tell a difference, essentially, because
Yeah.
we have not had
Yep.
the committee release yet.
None of us tasted it. We're hoping that our pourer boy might make it first and make us think it's something else.
But he better do it random.
Yeah, but he'll do it. I think he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Does he know what he's doing?
Oh yeah. So
Cool.
I guess can we request the first? Let's request the first.
So essentially,
Ding, 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 ding,
we'll
ding.
request the first.
Whiskey boy.
So the overview of the core range for at least the ones that we are doing, we are not including the 5
Nope.
year being the Wee Beastie.
Wee beast.
Even though that is a core line item essentially at this point. We are doing the 10, the Inoa, the Uigeadail, and the Corryvreckan. And then, of course, the 2020 Ardbeg committee release is thrown in there.
You didn't say it right.
Ardbeg.
There you go.
But the 2020 Ardbeg is commemorating the head distiller, who I don't remember the first.
bring
name.
bring us the bottle of the committee release, the Ardbeg.
That defeats the purpose.
No, it doesn't. We're just reading the bottle.
That defeats the purpose.
Unless it's wet on the side of it,
Right.
or it's open.
It's moist. Did you open this prior?
No.
Tell us a little bit about it,
Yeah.
Zach.
Okay, so I'll just read it. Pirate of the Hebridean. After 13 years at the helm, our legendary distillery manager and committee chairman is departing. It's true. The captain of the good ship Ardbeg is retiring. Micky's leaving has been hard to fathom for all of the crew, but to commemorate the skipper and his service, we have created an extra special bottle of Ardgrog, a treasure fit for even the saltiest of sea dogs. This is a flavor profile. Wholly matured in ex-rye casks, timber-smoked banana and pear drift into vanilla and rye on the nose. A spicy mouthfeel hoists up and ignites a blunderbuss of fruity flavors.
Blunderbuss.
An armada
I like
of
this.
aniseed is tailed by smoked toffee and a distant hint of sourdough biscuits. The long finish lingers, with gentle smoke listing on the palate. So to Micky we say, yo ho ho, and a bottle of Ardbeg, as we raise a toast and wish him good luck and Godspeed. So,
Yo ho ho.
I don't know.
As far as I know, it's just Ardbeg finished in rye.
Right.
It's the first Ardbeg finished in ex-rye barrels.
Yeah.
No age statement. It's 51.28.
8. Yep.
Non-chill filtered, as always, from Ardbeg, at least as far as I know.
Ardbeg.
So
Yeah, there's no age statement, but I read online someone had
it's got to be like
figured
10,
they
right?
figured it was only 5, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
we won't know, but it's commemorating 13 years. It's not a 13-year aged whiskey. Could be, probably isn't. So we're starting our first blind.
So, judging off the color, I'm guessing either Noah or Uigeadail sherry
I was gonna
finish.
say Uigeadail, yeah.
I haven't.
Corryvreckan
had either
is
of
a
those in a
sherry
while.
finish
It
too,
is,
though.
but
But this is darker than
Corryvreckan
I feel
is it's smokier, like more meaty on the tongue. You can smell the pepperiness. This one doesn't smell.
Depending on the proof,
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
either
smell as
going to be the
peppery.
Uigeadail or the Noah.
I remember the Anoa being a little weaker.
Well, because
Than
I think it's 47 point something, so considerably less than the Uigeadail. I forget the sherry, how it plays into it, because they are different on how the sherry is introduced. And I forget any Anoa versus the Uigeadail as far as the sherry impact,
Yeah, I don't remember.
but they are different, and that's
So,
thing.
pourer boy, you know which one we're pouring in what order? Okay, thank you.
He shakes his head yes.
Good.
Noah
Honestly.
popped in my head first, but I'm not 100% sure yet. This is the first whiskey of the day. Not sure on the proofing. I'm guessing Noah right now.
It tastes pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
Ardbeg is 46.
Yeah, and Uigeadail's more well-rounded than this, what I remember. This one's got a nice, meaty
It's got
middle.
a bite to it. That's
A little bit of a bite.
I've never tasted in an
Not a
Ardbeg
strong
before,
finish, though.
It seems more sherry than I remember the Uigeadail or Corrie being. And the Noah, I think, is more sherried in that sense. 47%. I said 46, but 47. This could be the Noah. So, I mean, it's a fine Ardbeg still.
Yeah.
You know, I still, it's actually been a while since I had this. Off of memory, I like this more than the 10. It's got a little bit more character and flavor, fruits towards the mid and end.
It's been a while since I've had any of the
Ardbeg
core
line.
line.
Yeah, I bought a 10, and I opened it, and it was underwhelming, just in the sense that I remembered it being like a 70 to 80% of the other ones. I don't know. It's more around the 60% range, only because it's it really doesn't have the punch
The
that
Uigeadail is full.
yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have the punch that the predecessors do.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Well, I mean, the Uigeadail and the Corryvreckan started off as committee releases.
and became so
Became
much more.
cores, yeah. But I don't know what years they were committees. I'm going to look that up. Probably tens, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's also not uncommon for them to do a second release in the same year as the
Right.
other committee release. And it's just
If we do
called-
see that, I'm going to be interested in that.
yeah, for this year's, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's usually a lowered proof version of the committee release, so it's not the same whiskey, but some people prefer it because it is usually like half the price,
Yeah.
kind of depending, and sometimes in more volume, but that's not always the case. I'm trying to think the specific one they were. I think it was the black. The black is what people
Committee release.
they liked the more well-rounded, lower proof version of black, than the higher proof regular committee release. And sometimes I think they do two. Some years they've done two technical committee releases.
Yeah.
One in the spring, one towards the late summer, early fall. So they might do a same. I mean, this is during post COVID. I'm kind of jumping the gun here probably, but I think we're on the descent of the COVID
doubt
mountain. I don't know
I doubt it.
where we live.
Where we live.
It seems like
Unless you live in Texas.
yeah.
So the committee release version of Uigeadail was 60% almost.
60%.
No age statement. I can't find just a simple answer on when it was released. The Corryvreckan might have been 2015. Or wait. 2008 for the Corry. So I'm assuming this one was probably around then. Possibly 2007. Yeah. So, yeah. Prior to 2010, it looks like. But, yeah, I think
That's
the
good.
Uigeadail is what? 52, 56?
Yeah, just have our boy yell at us. What's the percentage alcohol of the Uigeadail? The UIG.
The
IEA?
Uigeadail.
I think this is an Anoa. I don't think this is hot enough to be anything. But
As we await the answer. Well, that was really good. That's a nice first pour. That wasn't too peppery. The percentage. if you know the proof, it's half that.
I should look up the price of these.
No.
54 for the Uigeadail. Okay.
Uigeadail.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that is this.
No, I'm gonna say a no then.
What was the proofing on the Ardbeg?
51.8.
Yes. I am done with my glass.
I don't know. That tasted.
I think it's 47. It's
I
just a
don't-
scotch. It's an Isla Scotch.
I just don't think I've had the normal like
10?
Uigeadail, Anoa, Corryvreckan.
This is the first whiskey of the night.
True.
So we don't have a gauge.
That is true.
Yeah, I'm
It
hoping.
just seemed more peppery to me than I remember any of them being.
Okay.
The 10's peppery.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the 10's lighter than that though. That
Oh,
was, that
oh
was
yes.
way too dark for the 10.
Well, and then I think is the next.
Yeah.
Is the step. This is $57 at Total Wine in
Yeah,
Minnesota.
bring out round 2.
So, I think whenever we get to 10, I like this. This is, I think, appropriate price. I think this is the next step from the 10.
Yep. And then in recent news, I don't know when this is going to get published, but in recent news, the United States has ended the tariff for single malt scotches
Temporarily. at least.
temporarily. Yeah, for like 4 months until they have to vote on it again, or extend the tariff, or just cut the tariff
Please
off.
cut it.
So
It'll be a while till we see
there is
effects, though.
this is a hope of potential. The prices may return to a state in which they were like
Light.
4 years ago, or 3 years ago. So we got our second round. They're sniffing. It's light, so it's I'm gonna say it's the 10, but Literally haven't even smelled it.
I don't know. Off the nose solely.
This could be the new one.
That's
kinda what I'm
kind of
thinking.
thinking. It smells weird.
Because I read the new one. Well, on the back of the bottle, I think it said banana, right?
Banana.
I guess banana.
Not a huge fan of banana whiskey.
I'm not smelling banana, but I'm definitely smelling rye. It seems like
You're smelling rye?
kind of smell
I
it.
do. I do smell that. I could see the banana.
It smells
influence.
smoky though, like nice smoke.
It's like a smoky banana.
Yeah.
It smells young. But I think that's just you suggesting that it might be 5 years.
Yeah.
It's not. There's one reason I know.
You think it's a 10?
It's not hot enough.
I think it's the 10.
Yeah.
It's also it's cold.
Oh. We've Dylan's selections were in the car, so it's cold here in Minnesota.
So
Trash.
not I mean it's
yeah.
like 50 degree
Yeah.
cold.
Trash.
Dead giveaway.
I think this is the 10.
Dead giveaway. That's okay. I don't think any of these blinds have ever been perfect, except for when we sampled the bottles and then brought them home. But
It's a little spicy at the end.
mm-hmm.
But
Impressive nose on the 10. I didn't remember it being that
yeah.
very calmingly fragrant.
The psychological game though. When you said banana though,
Yeah. I mean, I was like throwing myself for a loop.
like this is a banana, yeah.
Yep.
But the 10 is still, I mean, this is $46 total. Again, Minnesota pricing, depending on where you are.
Mm-hmm.
This is still a, it's an easy sipping. If you're used to Isla's, it's easy sipping and affordable.
Yeah.
Nothing bad about it.
This makes me wish that we had the Wee Beastie, because now I'm like,
Did you drink all of yours?
yeah, I did.
Okay.
I don't know. I might like the Wee Beastie more.
Really?
For the potency, just for the slap in the face that one is.
That one is really
It is like
slap in the
1% hotter.
Yeah, but
It's not even that. It's just the flavor.
smokier,
It just like kicks you in the teeth.
and there's similar price.
It's a little cheaper.
This is more complex,
It's more complex, but Wee Beastie is just like
yeah.
but after coming from a smoky one, the first sample we had to this makes me wish I had another smoky one. So maybe the 5 would have been better. Which is another example of pairing your whiskeys with stuff that you're already eating and drinking, how it affects how much you like it.
Right.
Thai food and whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't eaten yet.
Yeah.
My palate is
That is fresh.
as you can get.
Oh my gosh.
The wording was so bad.
Nice and moist. And
Ooh, there's a good pop right at the end of that one.
I got to start thinking about camping whiskeys again. No, if we're going camping in June.
Yeah.
Lafroig.
We did the episode, and I still like to stick to that. But usually I do a Scotch and bourbon.
Yeah.
Did the Knob Creek single barrel last time with the Lagavulin 16. I think I'm going to keep that Scotch, even though I said Ardbeg 10. Lagavulin 16 is just that's got a spot in my heart.
It's like part of our culture now.
Yeah.
Nah,
Which,
Lafroig.
speaking of Log 16, though, I was telling you at work how I tricked my brother, my dad, who loves Log 16, both of them, and Scotch in general. I poured them Log 16, and then I poured them a glass of Port Charlotte, and then another glass of Log 16. And I didn't tell them. Obviously, they knew in the middle something was different, but they didn't tell me to get something in particular. They're just like, pour me what's good.
Right.
So I did Log, then Port, then Log again. I said, what'd you guys think of the second one? And they're like, well, that was really good. I'm like, did you like it than the first one? They're like, yeah. Did you like it better than the third one? Yeah.
I see you have the bottle there.
I brought it. I have it here.
We should have them almost throw it in there.
Yeah, maybe at the end.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll do it at the end
that's
because now
okay.
we're
Ooh,
So-
nice and amber.
So Port Charlotte, I think, and just for its flavor, is a better camping whiskey than Log 16 because of how peaty it is. And then,
I don't know.
because you're already by a fire, which might you're gonna inhale the smoke, and then you're adding peat through the mouth, and then you're getting the full burning complex.
I think it
of the
almost
palate.
might dull the peatiness because you're just kind of like
Maybe. I mean, that's
Well, the peatiness. I mean, the peatiness it is influenced, or it can influence the smokiness, but it can be at some points different. Well, I mean, the regular Bercolotti is unpeated, the classic Lottie.
true.
Obviously, the Port Charlotte is heavily peated, but I guess what I'm saying is it could be interpreted. You can still have a smoky without it being peated.
Yeah.
And you can have a peated whiskey without being heavily smoky. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That Log 16 is just.
butter, man. It's butter.
It's like loving something, and even if you know that it might not be superior to something else, you will never accept that it's not superior.
This one smells really good.
Ooh,
Really, really
Butterscotch.
good.
It smells
Butterscotch.
too sweet. I think it's which one was finished in sherry?
both the Uigeadail and Corry.
Both the Uigeadail and
In
Corry.
some way, as far as I know, if I'm correct.
I think that this is.
I don't know which one this is off the nose yet.
It could be. If I'm remembering correctly,
My head saying Uigeadail,
that's what I'm thinking. Is it's
but
Uigeadail?
without tasting it.
That's the one. That's the only one that I've had. Like the next
The Corry is my favorite.
most of was Uigeadail.
The Corry and Uigeadail are very high on peated scotches for everyone, but usually the Uigeadail is higher up. For me, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
But they're trading punches.
I could see why the Uigeadail, if this is Uigeadail, why it would be so high. Just because it's got like such a nice smell.
Yeah, so I just drank the Corry on Monday. So
This
I
is
don't
amazing.
think this is the
Oh.
Corry though.
No, I do think this is Uigeadail.
This is amazing.
I just remember that distinct.
Dirty bottle.
We call
Don't
this
worry,
one.
don't worry, it's quite clean.
We call this one Jessica. You know why we call her that? She's a dirty girl.
I don't think that's how that quote goes.
It's not, but I
What
don't
was that
care.
quote from?
It's from
Surf's Up.
The
I don't remember
the
what-
penguins that go surfing.
I don't remember what they actually said, but as close.
It's something like
It's
that.
within 50%.
Yeah.
Failing, but
50%.
What's the price of Uigeadail again? 75.
I just looked at it. It's like 72.
72. That's a darn good
73.
whiskey, though.
Well, Dylan's
Limited
not
quantity.
getting Uigeadail late.
Here's the thing: is for me right now, I've seen Corryvreckan jump in price the most out of any Isla Scotch, regular Isla Scotch, I would say. I've seen it for 90. I've seen it for 80.
Yeah.
I've purchased that bottle for 56.
Which is a steal.
Oh yeah, I'd buy it. I should have. That was early on.
Yeah.
I would have bought probably 3 of them if I could have. Yeah, it's saying 70 right now total wine.
For Uigeadail?
Corry, sorry.
Corry.
Uigeadail is 73, and that for the most part has always stayed. I've never seen really change. Corryvreckan, yeah, a couple dollars less. It's still my favorite, but I would say I'd purchase if I saw both of these. I'd probably buy whatever is the cheapest.
Yeah.
If they're within $5 of each other,
Get the Corry.
I'm gonna go with the Corry because that's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna buy whatever's cheapest.
Yep. Yeah, I'm glad we do these kinds of things just because when I go to a liquor store, like you said, you don't want to spend more than $40 on going forward until July. Like I've always had that
I
mentality.
still got a good amount.
Yeah, so do I. You might want to.
I'm a huge value guy. And
Yeah.
it hurts me to see these awesome scotches, you know, and they're like $70, $80.
dang it.
And I'm like,
But you wish you could drink them all the
yeah,
time.
because they are like some of them are worth 70, 80, but it's close. Like that's like,
But then even if they are, it's like you can't spend $70 or $80
Yeah.
for as much as you're drinking them.
yep,
Yeah,
on a
exactly.
beverage.
You can't.
You're
just
you're
can't.
like, okay, say you go through a bottle
Yep.
I mean, how quickly do you go through a bottle realistically between like I guess you and your dad?
Well, I drink. I mean, I got my
You
stuff.
guys go through fast.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I got my stuff,
comparison to
and he's
us.
got his stuff, and then we have shared stuff.
Well, like shared stuff. So like say you bought
Oh.
like a bottle of like
a week.
a week.
Yeah. or
Okay,
less.
so you're spending $70 a week on getting a new bottle.
well, hypothetically.
Hypothetically,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. It's just that's
For me, I've had that bottle for probably about a year and a half now, just because the variety of Ardbeg alone that I have is I'm not hitting the same bottle.
there's no need to with how money you have.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I did the count. I did the count, and it's probably gone up maybe by 3 bottles from the time I told you, but I think I decounted and it was like 202.
For your collection.
Yeah. Probably 50-50 scotches.
fine addition to my collection.
That's what Dylan said when he went and got the Ardbeg 19.
Yeah.
The
would be
Ardbeg is the only line that I've essentially, like almost all of them that I've seen, I'm like, I need this one because I got to know. With the exception of the 20-something, it's just too expensive.
Yeah.
The other one we
For
don't
me.
have is black.
I haven't found it.
I know.
Supernova, haven't found it.
Supernova.
I mean, there's a lot. The committee releases are so hard to find. I'm surprised. I'd like to know what the bottle number count is from this 2020 from last year's.
Yeah.
Dark Cove is supposed to be fantastic. I don't know what the story on that is. If that's it's released sometime. I don't know what the story is. I mean, that technically could be a core release because it's limited. Even if it's released twice a year, it's
It's still limited.
But I think it is a regular part. But Ardbeg, I'll buy if I see an Ardbeg that I don't have. I'll pretty much buy it. But I am surprised how much of that 19 Trebon is gone.
It's a lot, isn't
There's
it?
a third gone out of
Because
it.
you gave me 2 good pours.
But I don't remember. It was just the 4 of us.
the 4 of
It was
us.
the 4 of
at the
us.
time.
Yeah.
That is still that's the best scotch I've ever tried. That
was so
frankly, that was better than the Black Arts that we got from Bruichladdich, in my opinion.
I'm curious to see how when we come back to it, it's going to be. But there was something I was having the other night, and I wasn't getting into it. But it's how it's what they always say. Your taste is going to change from time to time. But
It's an interesting noise.
man, like usual, you guys are drinking your scotch, and I'm
He's sipping.
Enjoying it.
We're like downing.
I'm not downing. I'm just.
This is fantastic.
I'm enjoying it.
All right,
Yeah, no, we're enjoying it.
But I mean, it's
thoroughly.
like I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
this is why Ardbeg is my favorite distillery. I have things I like more, but as a distillery in general, all their products I thoroughly enjoy.
I will say it is not. It's not enjoyable to drink an Ardbeg quickly.
No, I'm pretty enjoyed right now.
No,
I have joyousness.
I feel enjoyed.
I feel
I
enjoyed.
am enjoyed.
The joyousness of
I am
my
satisfied.
soul.
my
Yeah.
enjoyment is so satisfactory.
Yeah. See, the problem is like I'll get a little bit, if I do a little sip and then like it just doesn't coat the tongue.
So you take a bigger sip.
I take a little bit of bigger sip and I'm like, ooh, that was good. Do it again. Ooh, that was really good.
Oh, that was
and then I'll wait. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of
And then just
thirsty.
like,
I'm gonna let it fade away. Okay, here we go again.
Right now, I'm thinking I might make an exception to the 2-bottle rule.
Okay.
1 bourbon, 1 scotch.
Okay.
Might do 3.
Okay.
1
And
bourbon,
whatever
2
this is.
scotches. Do log 16, and then like
Yeah.
a Corey or an
You don't want to
Uigeadail.
throw a rye in there instead? A rye, a bourbon, and a scotch?
You're not gonna bring your Kentucky Owl.
That's too valuable to just keep on you.
I have thought about that actually.
Yeah.
Doing like the Whistle Pig pick. $100 for that Whistle Pig cast strength. It's pretty good.
It is good.
But
when we had it, when you gave it to us,
was-
I don't think it was half as good as the Kentucky Owl.
It was really underwhelming.
Well, only because we had the Kentucky
Well, we
Owl
literally
first.
had Kentucky Owl first.
So
Did we?
You
Yeah.
did.
I did that. Okay.
Yep.
I forget how I did
because I remember that because I'm like, man, I wish we had the Whistle Pig 10
That's
to
right.
compare.
It was
and,
perfect.
and then you're like,
perfect.
Well, yeah, because he was like, "Oh wait, well, here, try this."
Because that was,
Yep.
I mean, that was a comparison that we wanted to do.
Yep.
You know,
And then he was
how does a cast strength Whistle Pig 10 stack up to a $200?
Oh yeah, boom, puts it down on the table, and you're like,
It's at best half as good.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they're both really good.
Yeah.
But that's just also saying how amazing.
Given
the
there's going to be
Kentucky Owl
listeners
was.
saying, "Well, it's a store pick, you
Yeah,
dumb
you
Fs." So
dingus.
of course, it's going to be. But you're gambling $100 essentially,
Yeah.
on a store pick.
unless
yeah.
you tried it before. But
Yep.
it's safe. It's weird saying, but it's safer to spend $200 because it is good. It's just
just always
guaranteed
good.
it's gonna be
Always good.
fantastic. I'm still trying to decide if I get the batch 4 because I know where one is.
Mm-hmm.
But
What was it, 350? Almost.
320 total does have it for 280 though. I did look. I don't know if they still have it, but
I was tempted to buy. They had the Ardbeg, the Trayvon at Chan Total.
was that 280 before tax?
Yeah, so it's still there, but I'm like,
It's expensive.
that's my favorite.
It
That
is
was-
so
that was
good.
so good.
I mean, the thing is, it's like, I mean, it's one thing for me to speak because I've obviously have the biggest issue with purchasing whiskey, but
If you can call it an issue, I don't know. You've blessed us with your issue.
Yeah, no kidding.
well, and the fact is that it's accumulating, not depleting. So that's a good, not issue in drinking,
Yeah.
issue in collecting.
You see,
I
this
should
Yeah,
would this
it's-
wouldn't be a problem if bars around here kept good stock of the good stuff.
they just go out quick.
They go out too quick.
Yeah.
And they don't. They never have the inventory, and sometimes they don't even select the stuff that we want to try that is good. You know.
They just keep all the cheap stuff on stock to keep everybody happy, and then
Well,
That's-
you
that's
guys got to
fine.
try. We should talk about that. You guys got to try the antique, or excuse me, not the antique. The
Wellers 107. Yeah, we did 107 antique. That's what they had.
yeah. I was
We didn't have
I was
it-
about to say the antique collection
Right.
before I backtracked in my head. But what did you guys think of that?
That was really good for
The Weller?
I mean, yeah, the Weller's 107 antique. He said it. Well, Dylan remarked it as a just what Maker's Mark wants to be.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's like the best that Maker's Mark could be.
It's what I wish Maker Mark was.
Yeah.
It's not that I want to enjoy the weeded bourbon from makers, and I do to a certain point. But the Weller 107 is like, this is what I want makers to be. And for some reason, it's just not. I can't get into it, even from the regular Wellers to the select ones. But the Weller 107, I haven't been able to find a bottle. None of us have been able to find a bottle, but we've tried it at bars within the last couple of weeks. But
Really good. Really
Yeah.
gentle. I didn't think it had. I mean, we were in a restaurant, but so I couldn't really smell it. But I didn't
the
think.
glasses were super.
Yeah,
we had
I
it before
didn't-
we ate.
Yeah, I just didn't think the smell was that amazing. It didn't have a good aroma, to be honest.
I feel like that's
Weededness.
well,
showing through.
bourbon does have a nose to it, but
Yeah.
Scotch is
No,
very
I'm not
potent.
comparing it to Scotch.
No, I know.
I smelled it, and I'm like, this doesn't smell good.
Well, I
This
guess what
just kinda
I'm
smells
saying-
like alcohol,
Right.
and glass.
I guess what I was saying is that bourbon for me is it's a hit or miss when it comes to the nose. Some of them are gonna have an aroma to it. Sometimes, and maybe it's just me, but sometimes it feels like it just doesn't have one almost.
Yeah.
Like you're saying. But
It's possible.
yeah. So, all right. Well, for the sake of continuing,
Yep. And I mean, we only got 2 left, right? So, pourer boy, you can minimize the pours,
well, maybe
I mean-
if we've already had the Ardbeg,
right?
but if we haven't. Well, for your sake, we should, I suppose.
I don't.
This
I
is
don't
your
care.
bottle.
No, you can drink as much as you want. I just
Pour me 2 ounces.
Can you pour me like?
because we need
5?
to analyze.
We need to
its
analyze
full
it.
flavors. You know, so
Well,
that's,
we're gonna have to go
that's
back to it after the.
It's gonna take a
fact.
number of sips, right?
Yeah.
So
Do we firmly establish which one we thought that was?
No.
that one, no, we thought it was the Uigeadail when we first started drinking it.
That
I'll
first-
go with
this
that.
one?
I think it's
That one, yep.
Yeah.
We thought
Yeah,
it was.
that-
we thought it was Corryvreckan. Or sorry, Anoa 10 Uigeadail.
Uigeadail.
I think it's Uigeadail. I really, honestly, that's a 50-50 guess for me. But I'll stick with the Uigeadail.
Yeah.
There's another cold one.
Okay.
I mean, all mine were cold.
I
so.
know.
The good thing is that it doesn't help us out a ton.
Yeah. Well, and then I guess the Ardbeg
Well, it's
was
not
in my
Ardbeg.
room. My room is freezing cold all the time, and
So
the furnace was
mentally,
off, and the
I'll
furnace was
think
off. So,
that they're the same temperature.
yep. So it might still be a little chilled.
May I have a glass of high quality H2O? Por favor. This one smells the same as the 10 for me.
So this,
So I want to make sure I
No.
rinse my mouth out. Mouse.
Mouse?
This is lighter though.
yeah, this could be the Corry.
This could be the Corey. I don't remember
Corry
exactly.
is this light, but it smell. Well, last time I had it, it had a scent to it.
That Corey smelled more interesting.
The nose to me smells very similar to the 10, if not the same. Actually, that'd be a good idea for a blind is at some point, if we do another one, tell them to double back to one of them. Throw us off.
This doesn't have a distinct smell, really, even.
I'm getting the same fruit from the 10, like that banana-ish. And then maybe some baking spice or something, some sort of generic. Not pepper, but like...
Maybe this is the 10.
You think the one we thought was the 10 was the...
Was something else.
But that one was cold.
That's true.
This one is like kind of cold.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
It just doesn't... This just seems more like what it would taste like.
I get like no rye notes to this. If it were,
That's what I'm saying, is
So
that it
it's
doesn't
like-
taste like
Yeah.
Ardbeg at all.
I'm going to try it.
I mean, it does
I'm going
have
to say...
some sweetness to it.
I'm going to say this is the Ardbeg.
you think?
Yeah.
Which is too bad because this is my least favorite so far. I think it's worse than the 10.
It's
this
sweeter
is. It is sweeter,
on the end.
but there's like nothing in the scent. And
It's too similar to the 10.
yeah,
Doesn't coat my tongue like the 10 did.
I mean, the one that we thought that could have been the 10 2 whiskeys ago might have been Ardbeg. This is very similar.
but after reading the bottle, I don't know. I thought they're describing the smell so much of like fruits and bananas and scents. I'm like, yeah,
The problem is, here's my theory. Ardbeg 10 is peppery, right?
yep, a little bit
Rye
spicy.
can also be spicy and peppery. Is that really going to change a whole lot if your base spirit is already peppery and
Right,
spicy?
and you're finishing it. Yeah, true.
If we've had it already, I don't think I can't recommend buying this at all. Not saying I'm disappointed that I purchased it because I'm kind of said I'm into the Ardbeg line, but yeah, no, this is too similar to the 10. If we've had the Ardbeg, yeah, I don't know what this would be. I really hope this isn't a Corryvreckan or Uigeadail.
No, it's not.
It couldn't be.
No.
Those two definitely
Yep.
don't
And
taste
then
like this.
As much as we tried to keep this anonymous, but when he was pouring it, you could hear the glug 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 glug. That's what a full bottle sounds like when you pour it.
Well, the Ardbeg 10 and the Ardbeg
was pretty
were
full.
the fullest.
Okay. So
So-
there's hope.
Stop using your ears.
Yeah, right. These
Well-
open back headphones, man. I can
But-
hear everything.
But that's also not good because essentially we've had both of them
yeah.
because they were the both. The last one could be either the Uigeadail or the Corry. So
Right.
But on the flip side, if this isn't the Ardbeg, then either the Uigeadail or the Corryvreckan, or if this is the Uigeadail, one of these is not getting repurchased. So, but that's the other thing we haven't thought about is what if the Uigeadail was not the first thing we had? What if that was Corry? And this is the Uigeadail. or the one that we thought was Ardbeg 10 was Uigeadail.
Yeah, we could totally be off.
Just
And
shows that
so that
we're
means
poor.
that this could have been
We're
Ardbeg 10.
yeah, we're just really bad at the core lineup. We're worse than we thought we were.
Or he went down and got like some wild turkey that we didn't know had. Callbacks.
Callbacks.
101, baby.
Yep.
That was the most disappointing. That was crushing.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the reason I don't think this would be the Ardbeg
It just doesn't have that.
is it's not hot. To me,
That's true.
this does not taste like 51%.
So are you thinking that we've had it or we haven't?
I think we have. I think the second one was it because of the super scenty banana on the scent.
This smells the same.
No, this is weaker. This is
It's definitely weaker.
Like if I like breathe hard, I'm like, yeah, it smells like taffy a little bit.
Before you said anything, when I first tried smelling this on my own, to me, without trying side by side, obviously, the nose was very similar, which I wouldn't be able to distinguish doing a blind non side by side. So I don't know. I think we have had it at this point, but I'm still holding out. I'm hoping.
We still got one more. I mean,
Yeah.
who
our
knows?
poor boy might be a save the best for last kind of guy.
He could have pulled a fast one. What if
pulled a
he
fast
went
one.
back to a 10? Because he could have done that.
He could have done it. He could have messed up.
Because I said that after.
Yep.
After he did the 10. He could have gone back to the 10. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. Maybe he's not that smart.
Well, let's move on to the fifth urgently because I need to know.
I hope that's not the Ardbeg because I just downed
$190
$200 scotch.
Right. So that if it's $200, is about what
Ounce?
is it? Is 22 ounces per bottle? Is that how much 750 is?
22 or is it 25?
I'll look it up real quick.
But it's either 22.5 or it's 25.
Right. So, if you have an ounce, you're having a 20th, which is $10 of a $200.
Did you hear about a law passed that's going to allow bottlers? I don't know if it's bottles to come over, all bottles. So if like we're going to start seeing scotches, or if it's just people that bottle in the States. But we're going to start seeing 700 ml bottles.
700?
Yeah.
as a standard, or
Nobody knows. That's the thing is it could be adopted
Yep.
by everyone. That's what it'll take. It just is allowing. I don't even know for sure why you couldn't do this to begin with.
Yeah, why would
'Cause, I mean, we have 200 mils. I mean, we have 50, 100, 200, 375s, 750, 1 liter, etc. So I don't know what made people not be able to do 700 in the first place, but apparently now it's a thing.
it's a thing.
But I don't know if we're going to start seeing 700.
It'd be interesting. It's kind of a.
I mean, I'd rather have the 750, but in reality, it doesn't really
it's-
matter.
If it's priced accordingly.
Yeah. But I get what people, I'd rather have the 750 than a 700.
I'd rather just have 1 liters, to be honest. I wish the standard, well, there are, but I just wish the standard was a
Was
1
a
liter.
liter.
Yeah, but
then
think
like a-
about
and then
think
like a
about the bad
500.
bottles you've purchased.
Yeah, it's, I'm saying I wish it was 1 liter, and the 750s were 500s. So half liters.
Yeah, but would that stop you from buying a 1 liter? And
Depending on how
and
it's
then
priced.
regretting.
I mean, it would give me. I guess I would just hope that they would have the half liter.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to
But-
spend more money proportionally wise on
Right.
500. At
But
least
I'd rather spend the proportionately more money on a 500 than on a 750 that I do now.
I don't know. I'd stick to the 7. I'd rather have the 700 than a 500. But
Yeah, so 750 milliliters. Is
all right, guys.
25.3 ounces.
All right. So, yes, I was right. This is pretty light too,
It is
but darker.
a little bit.
So there's hope.
Yeah,
The nose is
it's very
So
similar. It's pretty much the same as the last one. It's also kind of cold too.
I don't know at this point. My life is a lie.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I think this is Ardbeg.
Okay,
I think
you
it is.
said it. Carter said it.
Carter said it. If he said it,
That
Has
means
to
it's
be.
right.
it means
I think he's only actually said this is blank for
At
two
least
whiskeys.
3 times.
I think only twice
Oh
now.
my god, that's a 50-50. That's 50%. That's failing.
That's failing.
Oh,
Or I could be right.
Could be right.
or you
I
could
mean,
be.
I called out the last time we had the Kentucky Owl. I was like, it was
Yep.
rye.
As a
Yep,
kid in
it's-
middle school, I always thought the 50% failing was kind of weird. It's like, I got half of them right. Why is that? But I mean, obviously, it makes sense.
I
but
did okay.
I didn't do terrible.
I didn't do terrible.
What's worse than I forgot what I think it was a European country. Like 70% is failing. You need at least 70%.
Oh, I would be
they hold you
a
back.
horrible student.
Yeah, well, basically just
Give
encourage.
you my C.
Yeah, they just
I
encourage.
want my C.
It encourages you to, actually
stupid.
remember what you're learning.
I
you know?
actually made the honor roll quite a few times, more so than I thought I deserved, probably. But B's, it wasn't uncommon for me to get B's.
Oh.
D's are
Getting
passing,
Getting
dude.
good
B's
B's,
are
D's for
passing.
diploma.
Yeah, D's for diploma.
History was my. I was better in history than
Was your classes called history or social studies?
every other year. It kind of changed.
Switched. Okay,
Yeah.
it was always social studies for us.
Yeah, no, for
Social
me it
studies.
was. I think elementary school is history, and I want to say middle school is most. No, elementary was most social studies. I think middle school is when it started kind of flipping. It seemed high school. I think it was a 10th or 11th. I had history. It was American history, which was kind of the first time I've actually just had a dedicated American history,
Yeah.
which is strange, but I mean, that makes sense. I mean, obviously, yeah, you need world history, but it seemed very late on
Yeah.
in the whole scheme of things to be doing that. And then again, we only started, I think it was like, we only went to like 1950, which I thought was strange. They didn't even go into like, they never really do like modern history in school.
All right, I'm drinking it. I'm drinking it now.
This is hotter on the end. I don't know.
I really don't.
There are 3 that are pretty similar.
Yeah.
Crap.
Which is good because Uigeadail and Corryvreckan are still not over $100. But this one, the Ardbeg is.
I'm really curious what
Which
the one that
one?
we really liked.
Yep,
Which one it was.
Yeah.
That
It
was
because
the
it's either the Corey.
third one,
the
right?
third one. Was
It's
what we
either the
looked
Corey or
at.
the Uigeadail.
Yep.
There's no way. The color was way different.
Yep.
It's not the.
It smelled
Ardbeg,
too finished.
Yep. I'm hoping the second one was the Ardbeg because that was still, I think, better than this.
Really?
Yep.
This the first sip, I kind of like this more. I don't know. This is hotter. I don't think it's the Ardbeg 10.
Yeah, but it tastes the right proof though to be the
It does.
Ardbeg.
Yes, but we have a Corryvreckan that we haven't, either an Uigeadail or a Corryvreckan we haven't picked out yet,
Right.
which is hot. The Corry is hot.
Yep.
That's the hottest one.
So Corey would have been the first.
So
I
we
think.
don't-
I think we started hot.
Yes, but the Unoa is sherry finished.
They were all sure. I thought
Yes, but I think the Unoa is more sherry finished than the other ones.
But I'm just going off that.
I would like to request, is this the last one?
This is the last one. This is 5.
I would like to request a repeat of number 1.
Number
No.
1. I'm fine with that.
no repeats.
Because I don't know what this is.
So if we think this is the Ardbeg, let's describe it a little bit.
I don't think it is.
You don't think it is? Okay. Well, regardless, let's
Yeah.
describe it a little bit. Because I'm only getting a little bit of like
It drinks like a hotter 10.
a hotter 10, a little bit of taffy,
More flavorful
a little
than
bit
the
of
Ardbeg
like
10.
Honestly, did you guys get rice? I get like the rice in this.
No.
A little bit. Like what kind of rice?
Wild rice popped in my head, actually.
A little I guess starchy.
It's just starchy.
Like a little starchy, yeah.
You said
Yeah.
rice, and I
Yeah.
started thinking about it. I'm like, no, it doesn't remind me. But then I got flashbacks to, like when I say flashbacks, I mean
Vietnam
19
flashbacks.
It's 1968.
Okay.
It's 1946, and we're living in the Dust Bowl.
No, I got flashback. ELC, Wolfridge. feel like there were kids saying that they were so hungry. They're like, I'm starving because the portions. I'm talking about portions. Probably don't have any prisoners because this is a podcast, and they probably don't have Spotify. But the rations were terrible. You'll see. But anyways, back to the point. We had wild rice that they got from the lake that they grew. But it wasn't bad, actually, the rice itself. But however method they cooked it, it wasn't like cooked all the way through. It seemed like it was a little hard.
So it was crunchy.
For right, yeah.
Yes.
But that popped in my head. I don't know if that's necessarily to do with the taste, but more so to do with the reference of rice. I hated ELC. Looking back, it was fun.
Yep.
But yeah,
We didn't have a Wolf Ridge, but our ELC was
Eagle something. I think I've heard that.
I went to Eagle something.
Yeah.
I guess mine was different, but I don't remember what it was because
I've only heard of the Wolf Ridge or like Eagle something.
Okay, no, it wasn't that.
Okay.
I wish I could remember, but yeah, that was unimportant because the important part was I got to stay home. My mom's like, "There's no way you're going to the woods by yourself." I'm like,
You stayed home? You didn't go?
No, she didn't let me go.
Oh, dude, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
That's like I talked to the kids at school, kids at school that I never got to hang out with, not because like they're like
Sketchy or anything.
no, just like I didn't see them because
Yeah.
it's middle school and they're in completely different classes.
Yeah,
But it was just like the realization of like at middle school are just worrying about something like what are we doing? You know, like we're like all the middle schoolers were on the same like, oh my God, like what did we get ourselves into?
yeah.
I just remember the ropes course.
Like, do you guys remember? You might not remember.
You don't
Zach.
remember because you're a bum.
You never went.
Yeah.
But there was a car. It was like an old like Ford Model A, and it had bullet holes in it. And we did it was the night hike. Did you do a night hike?
I did a
Carter?
night hike.
You did a night hike. All right.
The night hike, I fell on barbed wire. Yeah.
All right,
Why did they bring you near?
All right, story time.
I just tripped.
So we did a night hike, and there was a Model A, and so my dad actually went as a chaperone so the certain teachers came, and then adults could sign up, and my dad did it all 3 times for me, Nick, Sam, which is really cool. So there was a Ford Model A. We did a night hike, walked up to it, and they told us a story about mobsters coming up. And this area is like by Duluth or something.
Duluth mobsters, man.
Yeah.
Like, they come out of Lake Superior, and they're ready to
get
enforce.
They're vicious.
Better not get caught.
Yep.
But they told us about like some mobsters or something, and the guy died in this car.
No.
And, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, we're like 12. It's not like, oh, God.
Is he still in there?
And they started, and we like, then we went up to this ridge, and we started howling, and then we got a response back from a pack of wolves, and we're like, oh my God.
It was actually just furries.
Oh.
Up in the north
No, this
woods.
is 2009.
That's before furs
This is
existed.
before
This
furries
is before,
existed.
yeah. So, we went back down, but that was like a memory of like everyone, all the middle schoolers being on the same page of like,
Why are we here?
we gotta get back to our rooms. I want to go to bed. Scared.
Did you guys do archery when you were there?
No, we did Native American survival. Fire starting. Essentially, ELC is run by a bunch of what seems like college students that don't have actual jobs, and the chaperones are the actual one that run it, and the college students are essentially just there.
They're just kind of like, here, let's do this.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, those are
But-
that was fun.
It was pretty great. We dissected owl pellets
Yep.
and stuff, and we got to play in a sand pit
Oh,
that,
sand pits
that was
are-
not on the property, and we shouldn't have been playing in that as 12-year-old middle schoolers.
sand pits are fun.
But you know,
You do what you do.
nobody died.
No.
Yeah.
But it was a big sand pit.
Did you ever?
You would think with archery shooting or with archery in general.
Oh, it was
the
actually
middle
really
schoolers
sketchy.
would die.
So
We did that in high school, but not
I
in middle
was
school.
we were shooting the bows,
All right, so this is a revisit of number 1.
and one of the I don't know if it was one of the chaperones or if it was one of the students, but he accidentally hit one of the bolts that was holding the.
So he tried to
no.
Robin
He
Hood it, essentially, right?
so
Split it.
no. So he hit one of the bolts that was holding the target.
Oh,
to the
not the
board,
arrows.
not the
Oh,
arrow.
Okay.
He hit a bolt like a nut that was holding the target to the board behind it, and the arrow just went came flying back at him.
What?
Wow.
Yeah,
How close are these? They're like
they
10
weren't that close. They're like
10 meters away?
yeah, something
30,
like
30
that.
feet?
They're further. Maybe a little bit closer.
I
That
always
seems about right.
I kind of have a problem with
It was like 5th grade when I went.
shooting bows because I'm left eye dominant, but I'm right arm dominant. Mm-hmm. So that's how I would shoot. Essentially, right-handed, but I'm left eye. So
Well, usually you hold the bow though with your non-dominant, or sorry, you hold the bow with your dominant
No, you
and
don't.
pull back. Yeah,
No, you hold the bow with your
no,
non-dominant
you're
hand.
supposed to hold it with your dominant. You're supposed to. You pull with if you're right-handed, you're supposed to hold the bow because you're actually pushing forward with the bow. That's how you're supposed to shoot.
anyway,
bow.
there was many reasons why I was doing it wrong.
Yeah.
This sounds like you're using like some old giant massive recurve bow.
Genghis
This isn't-
Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Genghis
archery.
Khan bow. It's not like modern compound bows.
Modern 12-year-old middle school bow shooting.
Oh, I can't.
I can't lift
do
it. I can't do it. What's your strongest arm? My right one. Well, just do it with that one. But I'm left eye. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
You're
matter.
not gonna hit anything. You're 10 feet away. But I get pretty good at guesstimating how much, But don't ask me to reliably hit anything. But all right. So number 1 again. Revisit. We thought this one was Enoa. I don't think this is an Enoa.
I don't think it is either.
I'm open. It's like it could be. I just don't think it's.
I don't
I don't think it's the
curious.
Corey, and I'm pretty sure it's not the Uigeadail.
The Corey is more similar to the Uigeadail. So I feel like this is more similar to the one. Was it number 2 or 3 that we thought was the Uigeadail?
3.
This is more similar to 3. So either this is the Uigeadail or this is the Corryvreckan. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
My experience with the Enoa is it drinks very, very light. So this holds up surprisingly well. So I guess that's why I'm wondering if it's either the Uigeadail or the Corryvreckan. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think there is a great chance that we nailed it.
No, I mean I
order.
can make a definitive list now, but
I don't know.
I don't think it's right.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say number 1. I still think it's a Noah. Number 2 was the Ardbeg. Number 3 was Corryvreckan. No, you're right. Yeah, it couldn't because 4 and 5 couldn't have been Uigeadail.
No.
Yeah.
Crap. Okay, this is
Corey is the hottest.
yeah. Okay, this is
I think the one we thought was Uigeadail
was Corey.
is Corey,
And
and
this
I
is
think
Oog.
1 is Uigeadail.
All right, number 1's Oog. Number 2 is Ardbeg. 3 is Corey. 4 is I must say 10. 5 was a Noah.
I'm going to agree with that. I agree.
I'm going to.
Don't look at it yet. Don't look at it yet.
I'm gonna say
I think this is the Uigeadail
I will agree.
because it's softer. I don't know. I want the Corey to win.
Except I think that Noah was 2 and Ardbeg was 5.
Okay. Remember that for your own. Final thoughts before we reveal.
These are all pretty good. 1 and 3 stand out.
I think
I don't know.
I think Ardbeg right now has the highest. It is at a very bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
It has potential to be a massive letdown, or the possibility of being a slight letdown. Because I think either way we look at this, I think the standout is the Uigeadail and the Corey, and the Uigeadail. Ardbeg by far has the most to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah,
but
I do think they just kind of got this together when Micky retired. They're like, let's get something out in commemoration for his tenure, and they did not care in the sense that as long as it tasted fine, that's what they're going to push out.
I could see that. I would like to know more so than how old the Scotch is, how long it was finished.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would like to know.
Because none of these had a particular rye
No,
flavor.
there was 3 that were very similar.
So
Actually, hang on.
One.
I was
was
thinking maybe changing one of them, switching the Unoas, but I'm for simplicity's sake, I'm keeping the same.
all right,
But, all right.
Okay.
yeah, just take a mic, poor boy, and tell us the answer.
Or do you want to text us the results? Screenshot us the results.
I don't care what he wants to do.
You got to talk into it. Okay, just text
All right,
us then.
yeah, screenshot it.
Excuse me.
I think either way we look at this, I think the Ardbeg is,
Just have it with your phone.
unless we're completely wrong, which we have been before, but it's not looking good for the Ardbeg.
No.
I was going to say, I should get all of your guys' guesses and tell you how many you have right, and you can change them.
That might be. I like that.
I mean, I kind of want to get to the Port Charlotte, and be honest.
That sounds really good right now.
But yeah, you can take our guesses. So text Connor.
I
your
could settle
guesses.
down a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty.
Okay. So mine
Mine is the same as
you
that.
got mine.
Yeah, so their 2s are the same.
Yeah.
What do they have? Tell them first. Why? Okay. Mine is, what did I say? Corryvreckan and Uigeadail, 10, and then Ardbeg.
Okay, so you want to know how many you guys have right?
Yeah.
You guys have 2.
2. Shoot.
That's not good. But I mean that.
0.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Who's got 0?
He
me.
does. So that means I think we got.
I think
the
we got 1 and 3 right.
I think we got
Anoa and the
1 and 3.
Ardbeg are probably right.
I think we have Corey and
And Uigeadail.
because those are the most definitive.
Yeah, but the only thing that I changed was the Anoa and
Actually, no, I take that
'cause
back.
Yes.
I think
said
you and I,
Ardbeg was 2,
you and I,
and I
Yeah.
said 10 was 4, and you said Anoa was 5. All of those were
I think
different than what
I
you
think
said.
you and I might have.
What?
There's a possibility that you and I could have Uigeadail and Corey mixed.
Possible.
No,
I'm
because
still
I don't
pretty,
know.
I'm still pretty confident. I mean,
Even
I know
though-
it's wrong, but I don't
Yes,
know.
you're right.
I don't know how to change the ones I'm
I
pretty
think it's
sure I'm
I think
wrong.
it's the Ardbeg. I would say this is mine. I think was it because we said Corey first,
I said Oog first.
Oog first.
Yep. Then Ardbeg too. That's what I said.
All right, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Corey's first. Don't tell me if I'm right yet. Corey's first, and then what was our you and I original? Was number 2
Was the no? Originally, when we were talking, we thought it was the 10.
I think 2 is 10 still.
No, I mean when we were discussing as we were drinking them.
I think 2 is 10 still. Third we thought was
Oog. when we were drinking it.
Yeah,
we thought it was
Oog.
Uigeadail when we were drinking it.
I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep
you
that.
You said
I'm
core
gonna
was
keep that.
first.
Yeah.
Yep. So now you're at core, 10, Oog. Now you
I'm
got
gonna switch to 10. So that was 4.
well, we had guessed that the 10-year was the fourth, yeah.
I'm gonna switch to 10 with the
The last one.
last one.
And Ardbeg was the fourth.
How many do I have right?
1.
Oof.
I only switched
Our light. Well, you switched all of them
Yeah.
technically. Well,
No, except
'cause-
the
except for the
Ardbeg, right? No, the
no,
Noah.
the Noah being the 5th, right?
I don't know.
4th, whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, just tell us.
Okay, yep. Just hold them up one by one.
There's so many wrong that I
Yeah,
have
it's
no
like,
idea.
geez, we suck at naming the Ardbeg line. Okay.
So number 1 you guys thought was
A Noah. Well, no. Originally we thought it was a Noah,
Corryvreckan.
but then we thought it was Uigeadail.
Yep.
it is the Uigeadail.
Uigeadail.
Okay.
Okay.
Oogie.
Our,
So Cordy is our favorite, maybe.
number 1 was Uigeadail.
Number 1 was Oogie.
Number 2 you thought was
I thought it was Ardbeg.
I think it's a Noah.
I agreed with him the first time.
number 2 is 10.
The 10.
Oh.
Shoot. Okay.
Well, the Noah sucks.
Yeah, okay, number 2 was the 10.
Number 3 you thought was
Corryvreckan.
I thought it was Oog,
Did we?
but I was
Yeah.
wrong.
originally you guys did.
Yep.
Okay.
Number 3 is Corey.
Corey.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
Three's
That's
best.
right.
Three's
Yep.
best, guys.
Yeah,
Three's
Three-
best.
It was really good.
Corey's rocking,
Corey
man.
is amazing.
Number 4 you thought was
I thought it was I
You
thought
know
4
what?
was 10.
I
No.
thought 4 was 10.
Yep.
Well, it must be the
Yeah.
Noah. It's probably
'Cause-
Noah now.
But we said 10. We said 10.
Yeah.
What is it?
it is the Ardbeg.
Oh,
Okay. Number 4 was the Ardbeg.
that was our least favorite.
And 5 was the Noah.
That was our least. Oh my god.
Actually, I like 4 better than 5, but 5 was
They were
Yeah.
so
similar,
similar.
very similar. Give me more Ardbeg.
Yeah,
right now.
I would like some Ardbeg.
Because now I need to justify my purchase.
That Corryvreckan is
Way better.
good.
Yeah.
We didn't even-
He didn't even take your glass.
He hates you.
He hates you. He's only got 2 hands,
You
man.
got hips.
Dude, I could be eating an egg roll right now.
Okay. So,
Buy the Corryvreckan of the Uigeadail.
yeah, by the Corryvreckan and Uigeadail. And the 10 was better.
The 10.
The 10 was better.
10 Uigeadail
Then-
Corryvreckan.
The
Then the Ard.
Don't buy the
Ardbeg.
Noah. There's
And-
no point.
You have to don't even bother with the Noah, and don't bother at all with Ardbeg, unless you just want to try something different, like or
That-
add it to your collection.
That makes me feel better about Corryvreckan, though.
Yeah.
It makes me feel justified in why I feel as the
I
best.
don't even smell anything.
Well, it's only rye. This is what we didn't we say that we just felt like it amplified the base flavors that was there. If this is 4,
Yep.
and I don't remember if we said it about 4 or 3, but what I said is the same. You know, it's
Yeah.
just building off of the flavors that are there.
Yep. So, I mean,
It smells.
give me the
Yeah.
bottle so I can read it again. But I feel like the 10 exemplifies everything they wanted this to be or said it was.
This is not that.
If
like,
you-
it's not peppery. It's not.
Well, I mean, he did. He gave us the 10 and the Ardbeg, and I don't think unless you told us to look for a difference, I would have found one if I was just casually drinking.
So,
If you told me this was a $200 bottle of scotch, I'd.
so on the
think I'd
nose,
believe you.
this is banana and pear, drift into vanilla and rye.
Vanilla.
Vanilla. Yeah.
Definitely vanilla.
They're
The-
kidding
the-
themselves with
the
banana.
rye. Rye.
Maybe pear. I guess I get pear.
The problem is the base Ardbeg is smoky and peppery.
Yep. So then mouth feel, and then just fruity flavors.
What's the mouthfeel?
Compared to
Yeah.
an Ardbeg, yeah, sure.
Just
but,
fruity
But so
flavors?
is the regular Ardbeg. I would argue the regular Ardbeg 10 is fruity.
Yep. So then it goes after that is the aniseed, smoked toffee, and sourdough on the flavor.
Is there flavor notes on the 10? they're really digging. I mean, there's differences, but it's I don't know. There is no
tasting.
Yeah, there's no tasting. Peat, smoke, complex whiskey of them all.
Yep. So I'm gonna say, poop you, Ardbeg, for charging so much for this.
Poop you.
For value wise.
It
But
says sea spray,
this is still better than a lot of scotches I've ever had. So
terry
just
rope,
saying that.
intense smoke intensity. I mean, is it good? Yes.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not in comparison to their other lineup.
I would
weak.
say, depending on how expensive it is at a bar, if you have the opportunity and you're really big into the Ardbeg line and you're given the opportunity and you want, go for it. Yeah.
Yep.
Spend the $30, $40, 2 ounces if you're willing. You know, you got to be really big into it.
Yeah. I would pair this with like a vinaigrette salad. That would be yummy.
I wouldn't pair that. It's too expensive.
Well, I guess
I'd be
I'm just
afraid.
talking flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, but like, it's not. I wouldn't say it's better. It's different from the 10, but it's not.
It's so marginally different that I don't think it really matters.
I don't think you can argue the difference really that much.
So good job, Ardbeg, on pricing the 10 where it's at. Bad job, Ardbeg, pricing this because it tastes so close to the 10.
We've said it. The 10 is such a high standard
Yep.
that it's almost in some circumstances it's unfair to compare.
Yep. I can't believe number 2 is the 10. That was so fruity. So fruity.
Man.
Oh, well.
That's okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode of the extra.
Oh, hey, we got Port Charlotte to try.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right.
We could do that off the air.
No, we'll try
We'll
it.
do it quick. Yeah, it's that one right there. Pop that cap open.
I gotta go pee.
Okay, so I think this is on par, personally. Flavor, Corryvreckan. It's not smoky,
Good Lord.
but I think if I just wanted
3
to pour
bottles.
something,
Oh, Dylan's going back to the 10 for
Dylan's
some
going to
reason.
10.
I got to try back to back.
I guess.
because I dig the Port Charlotte.
Oh,
I
Port
dig
Charlotte
it.
is bomb.
10's better.
That's better. It's a shame.
For
Darn
what?
shame.
Like a quarter
It's
of the
it's less
price?
fruity.
Less than a quarter.
It's less fruity,
Well,
but I feel like it's
$36
yeah.
for the 10.
No, it's 46.
46?
46. Actually, that's
Dang.
$10 more.
Right. Anyway,
Dang, son, where'd you get that?
I'm pretty sure I got it for 36. It was not expensive. It was not expensive at all. So let's just say 40.
Yeah. All right.
And then it was 185 for the Ardbeg. So that is sextuple the price.
It's intense.
Well, no, it's in between quintuple and sextuple.
It's 47 at total.
Total right now. Okay.
I just tried it back to back. The Ardbeg is more fruity, but I feel like the 10 is more full bodied.
I'm smelling the Port Charlotte right now, and this is so
Smells so
good.
It smells like
Cheese.
Cheese, yeah.
smells like cheese and
A
toffee.
little bit of hay, with like a nice, actually it smells like in the fall, the dead leaves and the dustiness.
Ooh.
I mean that in the best way possible,
Smells like
I know
cheese,
exactly
doesn't
what
it?
you
like
mean.
a crisp.
Cheese.
Nice and cheesy.
Man, that's good.
I
I'm
can smell
drinking
you,
it.
though.
It's not as good as. It's different.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, you're right. It's not as good.
It's not as good as-
Corryvreckan. I think it's
So
better.
what is it? 70?
It's 60.
60.
Yeah,
Corryvreckan.
Corryvreckan.
Still better.
Yeah.
That Corryvreckan is so good.
So good.
Oh man,
You're being heavily peated.
I should have bought 3 of
Don't
those.
take no.
Yeah.
Don't taste like crazy peated.
Well, it's because you're probably we've been drinking smoke.
That's true.
Well,
We switched.
So I've heard just because it's heavily so like the great argument I've heard the Bercolati Octomore that we had
Yep.
is, whatever parts per million peat level. It doesn't mean they can still change how smoky it is depending on where they make their cuts on the still. Because typically the smoke shows up later. So if they're doing a narrower cut, it might not pick all of that. So the peat count, it doesn't really make a difference so much as where you're making your actual cuts. 'Cause, I mean, you could have...
It's pretty consistent throughout the still process.
Right. So who knows, compared to Ardbeg and Bercolati, one of the two might be going a lot lower, you get more smoke than the other, but one could have more parts per million than the other when they're making their wort or low wine or whatever. So it's really interesting that even though you can have a more smoky or more peaty whiskey, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate once you distill it. But it was a very interesting argument that was
Peat
insightful.
does not necessarily translate to smoke.
No.
Well, that too, but also you can have a peaty wort, and then it might not translate depending on how you're doing your cuts. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to change your whiskey. So, but yeah.
Zach is longingly looking at Ardbeg.
Ardbeg. I'm just worried that this could continue with Ardbeg, making stuff like this.
We haven't had the black. We haven't had
I mean
the
going
Supernova.
forward. I mean going forward. This is where they're heading.
I think you're on to something as far as like maybe the retirement caught them off guard. We need to make a committee release something.
Yeah.
I don't think even the Noah isn't terrible for the price it's at. I think it's interesting if you're a whiskey nerd.
Well, I mean, it's not though, because the 10 is way better than the
No,
Enola.
it's not. I wouldn't buy if you're a casual drinker. I wouldn't buy it. You know, that's my recommendation. If you're someone that's curious and knowing the differences, that's different.
Sure.
It's so nuanced.
Yeah, I mean, and the asterisk here that someone's going to be thinking of is how much air do I have in the bottle? How long has it been open? Yes, I mean that's all going to play a part.
I don't think this could even open up. Like, if it opens up, what is it? What is there to gain?
You know,
What is there to gain?
I've thought about that about peated scotch.
Yeah.
I haven't really noticed heavily peated scotch really change.
Yeah.
But
I know for a fact Port Charlotte doesn't get better the longer it's open.
okay,
The closer you are to its opening date, the better it tastes, to be frank, because that's more of the flavor they were going for. The more it opens up, the less peat you taste, and it does taste a little smoother. But what that translates to without smoke in this concoction, it tastes watery and lower proof than what you think, because that's 50%. But when you let it sit for 6 months up to a year, which I had, my last bottle lasted 6 months. By the end, it tasted like a 42% or a 43% scotch,
yeah,
even though it wasn't.
yeah, no, I agree.
So drink your whiskeys fast, people.
Not too fast.
Not too. I mean, get the bottles. Down
Share
fast.
your whiskeys.
Share your whiskeys with lots of people,
Lots of people, and then drink it fast.
and then drink it fast, and then enforce these distilleries to make the good stuff more often.
I guess the takeaway from this is if you're on a budget, buy the 10.
Yep. If you want to splurge, buy the
Corryvreckan.
and if you are rich, buy all 5, and do this yourself.
And that is our conclusion on this episode of the Extraordinary Gentleman. Thank you for listening. There is an Instagram if you want to check us out on Instagram at the Extraordinary Gentleman. And hopefully you're listening to this on Spotify or such platforms as iTunes,
Apple Podcasts,
Apple Podcasts,
Google Podcasts,
Whatever else
Google.
there is that
and 2
provides
more that I don't remember.
podcasts. Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. There's no. Do they have podcasts on Bandcamp?
I don't know.
I don't think they do.
Blue Apron sponsored this.
They did not.
Carter sponsored this episode.
Yeah, Carter's.
We thank
me
you.
and Dylan sponsored this episode
Yes.
with this
Please,
Ardbeg.
please, I don't want to sponsor another. Thank you for
right.
joining us. We'll see you next time.